Welcome back, guys, to Trails to Azure, where last episode, our Chapter 3 Day 1 patrol continued from the Entertainment District as we kept on visiting stores for our gourmet review and talked to the members of Ark&Ciel, who were busy preparing for their opening revival show, before we then headed out to the Police Academy, Bellegarde and Tangram Gates. We now head to Armorica for our next quest.
My bear!
That concludes my report.
I see. Mob battles around Tangram Hill, eh? Even if they are on the small side, their attempts to place pressure on us are becoming more brazen.
Yes, it's just as we predicted. We won't be able to rest easy until after the referendum.
All we can do is stand by and maintain relations with all sides while we wait. Excellent work, Guardsman. Continue monitoring their movements.
Yes, sir. Feels like our relationship with the Republic is becoming more and more strained by the day. We'll need to remain vigilant.
As you can no doubt tell, we have neither the time nor the resources to devote to dealing with the cryptids. Forgive us for demanding so much, but we're counting on your help with the investigation. Not many events going around today, if you know what I mean, like dialogue, talky events. That's Tangram Gate. Maybe the issue is that we just got them. I actually didn't go in this room, did I? Whoops. Whoops. Lloyd's missing a tiny bit of HP. It just gives me a chance to have a drink. Gotta plan out your times, right?
Right then, Armorica it is for a quest, right?
So much patrol, much whale. So we are going to be here for stranger danger. Suspicious man has visited, but also Mr. Hayworth is here too. So let's get checking out, people. Okay, so this, I was hoping to see this new truck that we heard of, right? Have I done Station Street yet? Random thought.
Elkin's making a produce delivery to the city. He's been in such a good mood lately. He'll long for any excuse to take the long way home. To be fair, I can understand why he's so happy with the massive bargain he's made. If you're looking for Elkin, he's making a produce delivery to the city. I don't think he'll be back for a while.
We heard about a new fancy truck. We're not going to get to see it yet. I recently met a man with a lot of promise, possibly just as much as Harold even. The fellow has been doing a lot of good for our little village. Oh? There's been a guy in the village lately who's dressed to the nines. He told Gramps that I was such a capable lad. Of course, Gramps was thrilled. I could tell he was just flattering me, though. Okay. It's the guy that we saw here, right? I forgot about him.
There's something up with that old monocle guy. He acts nice and he smiles all big, but his eyes look like they're hiding something. Mum spanked Camille the other day. His butt was all red like an apple. This foreign guy's been coming to the village, gave us some candy. I thought he'd yell at us for getting his clothes all dirty, but he didn't. Man, it's a good thing nice people like him exist. Got that foreign guy's clothes dirty, but instead of getting mad, he gave us all candy. Mum still spanked me, though.
Don't do the bad.
A nice man has been hanging around here lately. I hear he's from a famous foreign company, but I've never heard him brag about it. It's nice to know that there are still some people with class in this world.
It's nice to know that some people can still be humble? Sure. Evidently that foreigner's been around the block a few times. He immediately sensed my love for Celie and cheered me on. What a great guy! That all it takes, is it? I borrowed a book called True Mysteries of Crossbell from the library. This story of the man searching for his lost head gave me chills. That's a spooky one, alright. Still, if you don't have a head, how can you possibly cry out to people asking them to find it? And now it's not so scary anymore. Oh, I was really getting into that tale before Gotham went and ruined it. I've got to teach him how to properly appreciate a ghost story. He used another pair of lips, if you know what I mean.
Hello, Special Support Section. Welcome back to the Ash Tree Inn.
Looking for a place to stay? Or maybe a bite to eat? Actually, we're here regarding a support request. The SSS explained their mission to gather gourmet recommendations. Alright, that. The Crossbell news service already told me everything I need to know. So without further ado, let me treat you to my chef's special omelette rice. Don't mind if I do. Lloyd and the team ate the chef's special omelette rice. My, this is delicious. Agreed. Superb. Flavors of the rice, chicken, ketchup, and egg are simple, but together they make something amazing. Reminds me of how attuned Armorica is to the nature surrounding it. Nobody can truly say they've visited this village until they've had some of this. All this high praise is about to get me red in the face. Sounds like you're pretty fond of this dish, huh, Lloyd? I guess that means we found your recommendation then. Make sure to sneak in a few words about what a chill guy Goffin is. He's always hooking us up with some quality grub or in Armorica. Sure, I can handle writing this one. Well, thanks muchly. I'd appreciate if you guys could write something that drums up more business for us. Getting so much high praise has got me red in the face. But if you guys think we deserve a glowing review, I won't complain. We'd appreciate the business. Yeah, so that leaves Ellie's dish, right? And that does it for the sheets. Before I had Stefan, I'd always wanted to be a maid at a hotel. After helping out here at the inn, I have to say, it's enjoyable work. Stefan has become fast friends with the other kids in the village too. Adios bless these wonderful Armorican days. I was thinking like what food eateries remain at this point in time. It's pretty much just, it's just St. Ursula? There's none in Edmund, there's none in Orcus. Yeah. So that must be where Ellie's is. Well, if it is, I'm expecting it not to be in some ways. I'm expecting it to be like the many sites of Crossbell, considering it even brought that up. From the same source, and on along. That foreigner who's been coming by is quite the cheerful fella. He's never without a smile. Something about it really puts me at ease. I wonder what I should make today. Thanks, Ange. Good talk. I do wonder too. Alright, we're nearly at Chief Toda's place, where the quest can begin. That's Armorica Village pretty much done. Where's your son? There's Harold. Where's your son? Derek hardly ever comes home these days. Oh, I hope he hasn't got himself mixed up in any dangerous business. Yes. Just what does my fool of a son think he's doing? It's concerning, yes. I believe there's a possibility he's been... Hello, Chief Toda. You called for the special support section. Oh, and Mr. Hayworth is here too. There you all are. I've been waiting. I take it you've seen the request. Thank you for coming. Sure thing. Why are you here though, Mr. Hayworth? As it so happens, he has a stake in this particular problem as well. After talking things over, Chief Tolter and I decided it would be prudent of us to consult with the SSS. Considering the circumstances, we thought the situation called for a professional investigation. If that's the case, this would be a serious issue. I recall the description mentioning that this had to do with your son, correct? Yes, it's a very complicated matter. I can brief you all on the details if you're ready to accept the request. Is now a good time? We're ready to help. We're ready to help, Chief Toda. Tell us everything we need to know. Thank you, SSS. I'm in your debt once again. As for what's going on, my son Derek has been acting strangely recently. I get the sense he has some kind of sinister plan in the works. Sinister? Is it really that bad? Well, I don't know the details yet. As a matter of fact, I don't know what's going through that boy's head at all. You see, not long ago, Derek told Harold that Armorica would no longer be doing business with him. Really? Why would he do that? Haven't you always been on excellent terms with the village, Mr. Hayworth? Yes, I've done my best to be kind to the people here ever since we started doing business. I came to see Chief Toda today because I was afraid that there has been some kind of misunderstanding. And let me guess, the chief here was just as out of the loop as you were. Am I right? Yes, you are. We never intended to wrong Mr. Hayworth like this. Losing a customer in him would have been a grave loss for our village. I'm sure my son is fully aware of that as well. It certainly is strange. What reason could Derek have to go over your head and make a decision like that so rashly? That's exactly what Harold and I have been discussing. In doing so, a certain questionable individual came to mind. Derek has been meeting with a foreigner from out of state recently. A foreigner? We don't have very many details on him for the moment. All we know is that he and Derek have been talking behind closed doors. Nothing so suspicious quite like a secret meeting. Quite right. As such, my request to you is to investigate this foreigner. That's the word being used that way. For us. If he truly is plotting some sort of nefarious scheme, we need to put a stop to it at once. I apologize if this comes off as rude, but is something like this truly worth submitting a support request for? Surely the logical approach would be to simply speak with your son yourself. Don't think that's our call, Tioto. I'm embarrassed to say so, but the young lady is correct. Derek and I have been at odds on how best to run the village for a long time. I've tried to confront him about this, but I could never get an answer out of him. As his father, it pains me to admit that. No wonder you decided to consult us. That about brings us up to speed. We'll begin investigating immediately. I was thinking we could start by interviewing each of the villagers. Feel free to do so. Incidentally, Derek and Elkin are delivering produce to the city right now. Maybe better off speaking with them last. Thank you for looking into this, SSS. I hope you can get to the bottom of things. We'll do everything we can, Mr. Hayworth. Quest Stranger Danger has begun. It doesn't matter how I rationalize it, Derek's secret meetings with that foreigner are exceedingly suspicious. If this does turn out to be a nefarious plot, we need to put a stop to it at once. Best of luck with your investigation. I met with Derek quite often while doing business in this village, and every time he struck me as a polite, diligent young man. If he has indeed gotten himself wrapped up in something unsavory, I want to help him. Please look into this, SSS. I hope you can get to the bottom of this. I'm kind of like, what am I supposed to do? Speak with villagers that we've already, of course, patrolled through. Good job, me. Obviously not you. It's too much of an ass to expect his mum knows anything about it. I don't think any of these guys are going to be the important guy. I think this man will be, though. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Lloyd asked about the foreigner who's been visiting Armorica Village recently. Oh, him, he's got a keen eye, I can tell you that much. What do you mean by that? Well, the man's become infatuated with our honey. He was raving about it being a surefire hit that he could sell across the entire continent. Sell across the entire continent? What, is he a trader or something? I've never heard him outright say it, but that seems likely. With discerning tastes like that, I'm sure he's already made a name for himself. I'd be thrilled if my grandson were to follow his example. Is that so? Well, now we know the dude is some kind of merchant. That's good information to have. Thank you for your help. Not a problem. Feel free to talk to me again anytime. A fellow I mentioned has taken quite a shine to our honey. Must have built a name for himself as a merchant outside of Crossbell. How could he not have? Yeah, I don't think you're going to be it. I do wonder if guy in the inn will be too. Nope, Keith isn't. Nor is you. Nor you. But it is you. 2 quest sequences do we have with you today, sir? Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Lloyd asked about the foreigner who's been visiting Armorica Village recently. Oh, the man who's been staying here on and off. Well, he's pleasant enough to be around. Very polite at that. Polite, huh? I see him. Would you happen to know this man's name? Let me think. I believe it was Minif. Or at least that's what he wrote in the guest registry. Minif. At least we have a name to work with now. Is there anything else you can tell us about this individual? Well, he wasn't too chatty, so there's not much to tell. He did call Derek up to his room a couple of times to talk about something or another. That's pretty much all I know. Sounds like the secret meetings Chief told us been worrying over. Yeah, not the most game-changing information, but it's something. Thank you for your help. Not a problem. I'm happy to be of service. But if you really want to thank me, why don't you order some food while you're here? We got some food. You gave us the food. So we now know it's named Minif. Likes honey. Who else can I speak to about this? I guess I'm supposed to return with the information by the end of it. It's what I would have thought. I found this guy's name. Great. Who else to speak to about this? Oh, you! Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. I'd asked about the foreigner who's been visiting Armorica Village recently. Oh, him. Well, if I had to describe the man, I might say considerate. Considerate? Can you elaborate? Once he was passed by the children as they were playing, and they accidentally got his clothes dirty, who was passing by. Rather than raise a fuss, he paid it no mind. In fact, he even gave them some candy. I didn't decide whether to thank, compliment, or apologize to him. He had me speechless. Interesting. Well, thanks for your time. Okay, that's not great information, but I guess that's what we're pooling now. Okay, we have more info to go off of, now that we've spoken to the villagers. This man is named Minif, and he's believed to be a foreign merchant. He's supposedly a kind man as well. A type that's courteous, patient, and caring with kids. On the other hand, we don't know why he's here in the first place, and that's suspicious in and of itself. You make a good point. Yes, we never did learn of a motive in any of those conversations. The biggest thing that stands out is him talking with the police chief's son in secret. That doesn't pass the smell test. I'm inclined to agree. It's incongruent with everything else we heard. I say we should follow up on that. Wait, look over by the entrance. That's Elkin, the one who went with Derek into the city. He must have just gotten back. Let's go speak with him. There's their fancy new thing. Excuse me, Elkin, right? We've got a couple of things we'd like to ask you. Oh yeah, what can I do for you? Let me guess, you came to ask about my shiny new orbital truck here. No, sorry to disappoint. Oh, really? But it's the Vern Company's latest model. Minif gave it to me for real cheap. Hold on just a moment. By Minif you mean the foreigner who's been visiting the village recently, correct? Just how cheap are we talking here? Hey, get this. I got it for the low price of just 50,000 mirror. Only 50,000 mirror? What I wouldn't give to be that lucky just once. Does the goddess have it in for me or something? Easy, Noelle. I can see you turning as green as your hat. Sorry. Force of habit. Moving past Noelle's mechanophilia, the average market value of a new truck would be nearly 500,000 mirror, which makes the amount you paid exorbitantly low. That would be a 90% discount. Sounds more like charity than a bargain. While he said the price cut was so we could make our work easier without breaking our budget, he and Derek have been working out some sort of plan. I guess it's coming along. That Minif, I tell you. My hat's off to him. Plan? Shoot, Derek said I'm not supposed to talk about it. Pretend you didn't hear that. Anyway, this Minif guy's the real deal. So you say. Wait a minute, did you come back alone, Elkin? Chief told us that you and Derek went to the city together to deliver produce. We did, but Derek told me he'd catch a bus back to the village later. He said he had some business to take care of at the hotel in the entertainment district. The locked one. Another meeting with Minif, I'm guessing. Hey Lloyd, this could be our chance. To speak with them face to face? Probably, yeah. We should head over and check things out. Thank you for speaking with us, Elkin. This was very helpful. No problem. Not that I get what you're after, but hey, good luck all the same. If you're looking for Derek, he's meeting with Minif in Crossbell City. They should be at the hotel in the entertainment district. Now then, since I've got a brand spanking new truck, I've got to do the darnest to keep it nice. Gonna be polishing that for days. Back to the city then. It's the weird little things on a patrol that we do, like finding out that a door's locked and then going, ore? What's going on here then? Oh, now it's... Wait, was that truck always there? Was I observant about the door, but not observant about... this? All right, we'll meet up again tomorrow then. Good talking to you as always. Wait, aren't you... Pardon us, you're Derek from the Armorica Village, correct? That's me. There's something I can help you with. I probably should have opened with this, but we're with the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. That's what I thought you were going to open with. We have a few questions we'd like to ask. That's so. Let me guess, my father sent you here, didn't he? So he even called the police, huh? That's just rich. He had his reasons. I already know his game. He's snooping around to find out what I'm up to, right? Well, I had nothing to hide. Ask me anything you want. Not the reaction I was expecting. I'll get straight to the point then. We were told that you've been meeting in secret with a man named Minif recently. Would you mind explaining why? Whatever, it's not as though my father can do anything about it. Minif has been helping me out with a little project of sorts. It's all part of my plan to revolutionize the village. Revolutionize the village? Why would you keep something so important from your father? Well-intentioned or not, doesn't it concern him just as much as it does you? I tried talking to my father about this kind of thing more times than I can count. All he ever has to say is that I've lost sight of our ideals and that making drastic changes won't solve anything. But if things continue the way they are, a rural village like ours has no future. Real meaningful reform is the only way for us to keep Armorica alive. My father doesn't understand that one bit. I see. And it was from there that you encountered this Minif character. Unlike my father, he's actually willing to listen to my ideas. In fact, he helped me discover a huge opportunity for our village's apiary. Plan on working with him to launch a major enterprise in the near future. You what? Can you even hear yourself right now? Mind your own beeswax, that's all I have to say to you. You got what you came for, right? I need to get back to the village if you don't mind. That was rather curt. Yeah, he totally blew us off. Hey, are any of you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe we could try speaking with this Minif guy for ourselves. Good call. Maybe it'll give us a better idea of what the Jamoke's all about. What do you say we show ourselves in? Here goes nothing. I'm slightly wondering if I should have headed downstairs now. Who is it? I didn't order any room service. Excuse me, we're looking for a Mr. Minif. I apologize for bothering you, but we're with the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. We have a couple of questions to ask you. Oh dear, you're police officers. Why didn't you say so sooner? Come in, the door's unlocked. This feels almost too easy somehow. Maybe he's more of a wheeler dealer than we think. Alright, we're coming in. Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm Minif. What brings you here today? Like I said, we have a few simple questions we'd like you to answer. Will that be alright? But of course, I would be delighted to help an officer of the law. Was there some kind of trouble in the area, perhaps? Not exactly, no. This pertains to you specifically. We want to know more about you and what brought you to Armorica Village. Could you start by telling us about yourself? Well, this is a surprise. But seeing as you're police officers, I suppose I have no reason not to cooperate. To reiterate, my name is Minif and I am a corporate executive. My responsibilities range from product development to sales and operations. I've been visiting Armorica Village to secure an important business deal on behalf of the Quincy Company. Did you say the Quincy Company? Not ringing any bells, personally. You heard of them, mademoiselle? In a sense, the Quincy Company is a famous international confectioner. They're one of the most prominent names in their field. You can even get their products here in Crossbell. Yeah, that does sound familiar. I think I used to buy their chocolates as kids. I always paid more attention to what was in the wrappers than what was on them. That's quite a right, young man. I, too, was what one might call brand blind in my youth. You see, despite working for the company, I've never been one for sweets. It was my long-standing reputation as an irrefusable salesman, in fact, that led me to my current position. My apologies, I didn't mean to get us off track with my personal milestones. It's fine, we're the ones who asked. So about that business deal with Armorica Village you mentioned, would it happen to have anything to do with Derek, the son of the village chief? He told us that it has something to do with the future of the village. Oh, did he now? In that case, I suppose there's no sense in keeping those details under wraps. Yes, Derek and I have indeed built a strong working relationship over these past several days.
We were aware of that much.
Could you elaborate? But of course. The Quincy Company is constantly seeking out new opportunities to grow our confectionery business. As such, the head office tasked me with a project to that effect. Our goal is to gain a foothold from which we can expand into Crossbell.
In other words, you want to establish a subsidiary of the Quincy Company here in our state.
Precisely. I began my inquiry by paying a visit to the department store in the city. There, I found it. A luxurious high-grade honey produced in Armorica Village.
That honey is made with the lotus flowers from the village's fields.
I do recall Mr. Hayworth praising it for its quality. And he should. That honey is the product of nature's bounty, passed down through the ages for generations. Seeing those fields was like the goddess herself showing me the way to a brand new confectionery venture. I call it the Armorican Honey Company.
The Armorican Honey Company?
Not exactly pushing the envelope, but I won't deny it's pretty catchy. We plan on selling candies made primarily from Armorica Village's delectable honey. But in order to do so, we will need the full cooperation of the villagers themselves. So I approached the incoming chief, Derek, with a most magnificent proposal. I asked if he would like to oversee the construction of the factory, as well as the new business enterprise.
You offered to make Derek the manager of a Quincy Company subsidiary.
Naturally, my company would make full use of its sales and marketing expertise. The fields too would be overseen by our staff. We don't want to cause trouble for the villagers after all. On the contrary, we wish only to ease their life's burdens.
Where do you intend on building a factory, though?
After discussing a great many possibilities, I've settled on utilizing the village's private property on Old Armorica Road. Since it has only ever been used for storage, Derek was readily willing to agree to the arrangement. No doubt almost anybody would be under those terms.
Especially with how keen Derek is on revolutionizing the village. Everyone comes out a winner. Isn't that just swell?
Ah, so glad you understand. In my eyes, Derek's talents and strong sense of responsibility are more than enough to qualify him for the position. With that, I've divulged all that I can. Does that answer your questions?
It does. Thanks for your cooperation. I think we have a much better grasp on what's going on in the village now.
Is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss further?
Not at the moment, no. Sorry to take up your time. We'll be going now.
No problem at all, officers. Come again anytime. Please take care.
Where do we even begin? This is quite a plan they've put together. Evidently, Minif is more shrewd a man than we took him for.
The whole spiel took some untangling, but it sounds like it could pay off big time. Seems too good to be true, honestly.
At any rate, I think we've got all the answers we were looking for.
Yeah, let's head back to Armorica Village. Chief told us going to want to hear about this. Oh, soup. I don't believe this. Minif is with the Quincy Company? And then there's this whole Armorican Honey Company business?
This is quite an extensive plan they have, and it involves building a factory on the village's private property, no less. Never did I take Derek as the type to pursue something like this. Has Derek returned to the village yet, by the way? That's right, I don't believe I see him around. He said he'd be returning to the village when we ran him into him at the hotel.
Well, I must confess that Derek doesn't come home very often these days. Instead, he's been renting a room for himself at the Ash Tree Inn. I understand Minif has been staying there as well. Perhaps that was Derek's reason for relocating. That way, his plans to industrialize our land could proceed without my knowing. What a shameful excuse for a father I am.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. What if moving into the Ash Tree was actually Minif's idea rather than Derek's? Maybe it was him who was trying to keep you from catching wind of what's going on.
Well, what do you mean?
I'll let our dashing leader here handle the details. Ignoring that first part, I'll do my best to explain.
Is there something more to this than we realize, Lloyd?
Keep in mind that I'm only speculating, but I have my suspicions about this Minif character.
What do you mean?
The plan he laid out for us would supposedly benefit everyone involved. Armorica Village gains a new industry, while the Quincy Company gains a subsidiary in a market they want to expand in. At a glance, it all seems well and good. Almost too good to be true, don't you think?
Well, now that you mention it.
As another point of concern, consider the ridiculously low price at which Minif sold a new Orbal truck to Elkin. In this context, we can think of it as an upfront investment. An Orbal truck isn't something you give to someone at random, not at the prices they go for. I never heard of one selling for only 50,000 Mira until now.
What you two are getting at is that he knows he's going to make that mirror back, doesn't he? That is very strange indeed. A company as large as Quincy wouldn't normally invest this much capital into an unproven startup. They wouldn't, would they? I don't like where this is headed. It leads me to believe that Minif has an ulterior motive, one that's guaranteed to make him a profit. This is all just conjecture, of course, but I would still suggest you keep what we're saying in mind. I will. We'll have to be very careful about how we approach this matter. And kudos on the fine investigative work, SSS. I feel as though I finally understand what's going on here. Thank you for the help. Happy to, Chief told her. Are you saying you can handle it from here? We could continue investigating if you'd like. That's alright, you've done more than enough for now. As soon as I heard about their plans to build a factory on our property, I knew I could never support such a thing. I'll have to speak with Derek later and try to persuade him, not just as his father, but as a chief. Perhaps that would be for the best. We'll be excusing ourselves then. Don't hesitate to follow up with us if there's anything else we can do. Of course, I'll be sure to call on you again if the need arises. Stranger danger is complete. For now, because that feels a bit cut off, do you know what I mean? Fantastic work, SSS. Thanks to your efforts, I have a much clearer picture of what's been happening. I'll have to speak with Derek later and try to persuade him, not just as his father, but as a chief. I don't know what this Minif character is after, but for now, Chief Total and I will continue to exercise caution in this matter. Thank you for looking into things for us, SSS. Depending on how this plays out, we may need your help again. Derek is planning to reform the village with this Minif person. Perhaps he and his father's relationship is beyond the point of repair after all. Probably. I'm guessing no one else here has anything to say about it. But we might be able to find them inside the inn. Oh, it's you again. Derek, we think you should try speaking with your father one more time. I've wasted enough words on that man already. The village chief is stuck in his old ways. He refused to so much as even consider any of my reforms. I'd all but thrown in the towel before Minif showed up and gave me the opportunity I was looking for. My father can't be trusted with the future of Armorica. Minif and I will be the ones to pave the way instead. I still can't shake the feeling there's something suspicious about Minif. If only Derek could see that. Yes, but I doubt we'd be able to get to him without irrefutable evidence. Am I supposed to search for that? I'm actually like... Am I supposed to search for that now? Or maybe wait for later for it to come up again? It's a question. Okay. The town is probably done with, though. We swept Armorica. It's time for us to head out yet again. Should we get out to St. Ursula next? Now you're telling us he's Quincy, yeah? Minif's one generous fella. I guess it's what you'd expect of someone from a big-time candy maker like the Quincy Company. Indeed. Or not. Anyway, let's take our car and ride it all the way out to more places. We haven't actually done Station Street yet, but we could do that on the way back. No, we'll do Station Street now. The patrol has but 4 places for us to go to. 4. It's barely any. From